Okay, so I'm going to be introducing to some my baby mama slash. Oh my, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to do another thing and allow you to introduce yourself. Okay, because you mean so much to me, and I'm
Thank
so
you.
excited about you coming on Safe Space with me and having this conversation that we always have and that others think is hilarious.
Yeah.
About our relationship, so we can let the people know who you are, and then we'll talk up and discuss how we got here.
Okay.
So go ahead and introduce yourself.
So my name is Elisandra, aka Ellie. Miss Ellie, the son
Exactly.
to our son, right?
Yeah.
Auntie Ellie, the son, but Ellie. My name is Ellie, and we're baby mamas, right?
Yeah,
That's our
yeah.
nickname. So I am her youngest son,
Yeah.
Shavari. I am his stepmom. So I came into his life when he was 7 years old.
Yes.
And he is now 24.
Yes.
So it's been many years.
Yep. About to be 25.
Yeah, about to be
It's
25
crazy.
in a few months.
Yeah.
And it was an adventure, but it was a great one. It was a blessing.
Yeah.
And I was just grateful to meet you from the
Oh my
beginning. It
gosh.
was like, it was always great.
It was always great.
Yeah.
Isn't that crazy? It was
Yeah.
always great.
It was.
Like, so I was telling them, and I was telling some of the people on set that when me and you met, we always thought about how our child, our son that we shared together, even though you were married into the family, how us getting along just made his life better.
So much better.
Right.
Yeah.
And even the times when I was not in a relationship and you guys would invite me over for the holidays. So I never had to be concerned like, oh, he's over his dad's for the holidays. He's not with me for the
Yeah.
holidays, but we
Yeah.
worked as a family and a team.
Absolutely.
And so just speaking on that, I wanted to go to how we can discuss the pickups, the holidays, like how we handle that. And before you go there, I want to tell a story where I remember when Shavari would forget his lunch money and we would both be at work,
Yeah.
but I couldn't leave as easily as you could leave. And I'm like, Ellie, Shavari forgot his lunch money. Can you? You're like, I got it. I got it.
Yep.
So
Yeah.
I just remember those times. So let's
That's
talk about
great.
just, holidays and different things, because he has different traditions that he still remembers.
Yeah.
Y'all put up the Christmas tree,
Yeah.
the village that
Yeah.
went under the Christmas tree.
Yeah. It was
So
all
talk
nice.
about that a little bit.
So really, it always flowed well from the beginning.
Yeah.
In 2009 when we got married, it was just always just like, that was between you and Raymond,
Correct. Correct.
But it was always an understanding,
Mhm.
and
It was a respect.
It was a respect,
Yeah.
a love and respect,
Yeah.
and understanding. And we would really kind of let Shavari be like, what do you want to do? And
Yeah.
because it was cool either way it went, we were
Mhm.
good. But, we knew that his dad liked to do certain things for the holidays.
Yes.
So, we would work it out, and he'll be like, we gotta put up the tree. We
Yeah.
gotta do this. He'll be like, all right. And then it was funny because the Santa Claus,
Yes. Yes.
he was like, his dad wanted to make sure that he believed in Santa Claus. So he was 25 probably.
and she ruined that moment.
Yeah, and then he was like, so he kept playing along with it, like, like,
Shavari was,
yeah,
right?
he's
Mhm.
like, I still believe in Santa, Dad. So it was like years in, he's like, Dad, I stopped believing in him a long time ago. My siblings messed that up for me. But, here we are,
Yeah.
So we always had a good, we on both ends always made sure that he always had good memories.
Yes. Yep.
In every season, we made sure that everything was good.
Yeah. No matter what was going on.
That's
And I appreciated that with you and with Raymond. I know another thing that was like special to me, because as you already know, you and Raymond and I, but more of the two of you have made sure he grew up in a Christian home. I had started being a little wayward in a way, where I had been going through a lot. But God still was the foundation in both homes, which I felt like was very important.
Yeah.
And I remember the time when he said, Mommy, I'm leading a song in church tomorrow, and you and Raymond was at the one church, and he said, could you not go to the club tonight and come and see me sing?
No, he did. He was like, Mama, like, I know
Can
that
you sit down
sit
and
down
not
for a
be out there
second.
twerking for tonight and just come tomorrow and see me, you know? And so I said, okay, baby, I will. And I never forget that morning, after he got done singing, he's able.
Yeah.
Because I had forgot this on the other day. I was trying to tell the story. He's able.
Yeah.
And I remember going to the altar when they did a altar call, and I rededicated my life to Christ. And
That
it
was beautiful.
I know. I remember you was crying like I was your child. I was like, look at Miss Ellie. And it's funny because I'm
so
older than you and I
emotional.
call you Miss Ellie.
Yeah.
Because of
so
Shabare.
emotional.
So yeah, you're definitely emotional. Like Shore's like, oh, Miss Ellie gonna
Yeah.
start crying.
I get it
was
from
like,
my mama. But
So,
it's
yeah.
definitely I remember like those days we went to church, but even like when I would take him to the bus stop, I would make sure to like read a devotion and pray with him. So like later on in life, he was like, you know, I
to
still
this day,
do that.
he still
and he's
does
like,
it
thank you, Miss
before
Ellie.
he go to work.
Yeah, and so like it made me feel like, because we had that conversation a few years ago, you know, and it made me feel like regardless of what happened, like it was all worth it just because he has that foundation.
Correct.
You know.
Yeah.
So I was so grateful that both of us at that point, because there was such a transformation that happened then, you know, because that was so random. Like he was going with us to choir rehearsal, right? So he just started singing that song out of nowhere. We didn't know that, and we were like, "You don't know that whole song?" He's like, "I do," and he sang that whole song in the microphone. They were like, "Oh, you leading this song," and that was his song. But it motivated him to want to start writing songs.
Yes.
I found the song the other day that he wrote.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I sent him the lyrics.
Oh yeah, he did send me.
Yeah.
No, he did show me. He did show me
And
that.
he's like, I needed to see that, and it was, you know, all of that was just the the starting foundation that, you know, I was so grateful that we were able to coincide and do it together.
Absolutely.
You know, because once you rededicated your life, everything started shifting.
Yes,
for
it
you.
absolutely did.
And he was able to see that on both ends.
Yes,
you
and
know?
it wasn't just wasn't just one. So to go back to there and how everything started shifting, and so on, I know for him and for me, when the divorce, you know, happened, that wasn't easy. I remember the decision you made that no matter what me and his father go through, I'm gonna stay until he's 18 and he graduates. I get emotional just thinking about it because
Don't
it's
make me
like
cry.
I know.
I got makeup on, you know.
We gotta cry like that.
Okay.
But I remember me and you had a conversation,
Yeah.
you know, and what could possibly happen, but that you know, it was gonna happen.
I was trying to hold on.
I know,
To be alive.
and I definitely remember that, and it's not. I think the biggest thing for me is not as of yet. You don't have your own kids, right? Like you have not birthed per se a child into the world, but no one can tell me that you didn't help me birth my baby, even though you didn't meet him until he was 7. Like, and 7 means something in the kingdom, right?
Yeah.
So to know that you sacrificed that and stayed that long, no matter what, right? Because no one knows what all, you know, what went on. But you stayed that long for my son and to make sure, right? And he still was hurt because he still didn't want it to, you know, the divorce to happen. I want to say thank you for that, because that, for you to choose him instead of your own, you know, that meant a lot to me.
Thank you.
And he's so grateful for it, and he's so better. And he talks about to this day, you know, like I'll be like, hey, make the potato salad like Ellie makes it. You know, it's so funny because I'm like, I can't believe I'm having my son make Puerto Rican dishes.
That's
Puerto Rican, but like, but it's like so good, you know. And so that's our memories during the holidays. And I remember, you know, when divorce first started, and I invited you over for Christmas.
Yes.
And we made lasagna or stuffed shells, one or the other.
Yeah.
I think it was stuffed shells.
Stuffed shells, I think.
And I'm like, come over here, Ellie. I don't care, because I knew, you know, you were used to being. It was a routine. How long were you and Raymond married?
Almost 10 years.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we're a few weeks away from 10 years. So and when I first met him, it was the holiday. I first met the family. It was the holidays.
Their holidays,
yeah,
were amazing.
Yeah. So I fell in love with the family before I fell in love.
That
with
was
Raymond,
my most sad part. I was like, he got a girlfriend now. Now I can't go over there for the
No, it's fine. It's fine.
Exactly. We still all showed up together.
It was all love, and I remember I went for Thanksgiving, and so that's when I realized like how much he loved the holidays. So it was like almost 10 years that we always had these traditions, and we did all these things.
Yeah.
So it was a while, and it was a hard transition. It was challenging.
Yeah.
And I tried to hold on for dear life, but
you did an awesome job though.
Thank you.
You did an awesome job.
Thank you. You know. And I'm grateful. Everything in life happens for a reason.
Absolutely.
And I don't regret it.
Yeah.
You know. So, at the end of the day, like just being able to hear Shavari talk about the different things, and just he can never say like throughout his life growing up that there was drama between us like that, that there was
Nothing
a bad
but love.
situation that happened. It was all love, and I'm so grateful that was the experience that he had with us.
Exactly. No, I totally agree on that. So speaking of that, because I know like we can go like all day when it comes to this, because we love to talk about our son.
Yeah.
How do you ensure in parenting consistency between households, right? I feel like we've talked about it, right? But just being specific on it, how do you feel like for others to be able to have consistency in the households, like how y'all ran a godly household, and then I ended up giving my life back to Christ, and then it went from there. How do you how can that consistency be within that household when you have blended families? Or
in my opinion, I think that it's a level of integrity, right? A level of love, a level of respect that it takes to get to that point, because if you don't have that, if there's like reservations of any kind, like you see that disconnect. Absolutely. You know what I mean? So when there is just like that unified love, where like, okay, we have his best interest at heart, or hers, we're gonna come together and work together.
Absolutely.
Communication is key.
Yes.
So in doing so, whatever there is that is of concern needs to be discussed and communicated. Yeah. And I think that's something that we were able to do in our situation. I think that's imperative in anybody's situation. If you have any issues with the other person, I think prayer is important.
Yes.
To pray for that other household, pray for whatever else is going on over there. A lot of people are, most of the generation growing up now, they can't say that they see a mom and a dad in a home. No. There's so many broken homes. Yeah. And so with that being said, co-parenting is so important. Because their homes, the kids are seeing this, where it's our responsibility to raise the next generation, and it's our responsibility for them to not be traumatized.
Correct.
There's so many kids that are traumatized. They see so much, they grow up so fast. Yeah. And it's our responsibility to control that. Yeah.
So with that being said, and as we wrap up, I remember you were a young stepmother, first of all, right? So for you to you were young in age, but in maturity, you were very mature when it came to that, with how you handled that. And our son, like you said, is the better for it. And as as your future endeavors, and we have, you have a baby, that is, I don't care. That's my nephew and niece. My son said that's his brother or sister. And so I'm very excited what God is going to do in your life. I'm excited that God is going to bring it to pass, because you deserve that, to be a mother. And no matter what, you've been a mother. You've been a mother.
Yeah. I don't know.
You can honestly say that.
Yeah.
So what advice, because this is a mental health podcast, and it takes a lot of mental, right? Our child had to go through some mental things and we ourselves had to go through it. what would you give advice to someone that is in that situation, blended family, step family, however, or maybe, not getting along with the other one, or just trying to figure it out because they've separated and went their separate paths, trying to still raise the kids?
In my opinion, for me, as far as advice goes, one, peace is priceless. Like, that's first and foremost. In any household, you have to keep the peace. Whatever things happen, there's a lot of hurt, there's a lot of pain, but your child depends on you.
Correct.
So you have to keep the peace, and they should not know about grown folks' business. Like,
we learned that the hard way.
Yeah, we learned, because I had my moments that I was like, Javon, like, I learned that the hard way.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because a lot of times we get emotional and we act out on that emotion and regret it later. But I would say peace is priceless. Number one, communication is key. Number two, and focus on prayer, on keeping, in our situation, keeping God first was primary. And however it flowed in each household, it may have been different, but our focus was to show him the love of Christ, to show him who God was, so that later on in life, he would know where his hope is, where his peace lies. Yeah,
absolutely. And
that was our focus. So we worked on that together. So I feel like if you have a divided households with your co-parenting situation, pray for that other individual first and foremost. Ask God to help them heal from whatever it is they're dealing with, because that affects the child. Absolutely. Try to keep the peace and try to communicate as much as you can.
Yeah, I think that's good. I think that rolls it up, and even to add to that, a sacrificing
self.
I felt like you did a lot of sacrificing in that situation, and you are the better person for it.
Thank you.
And my son still loves you to this day because of it, and we do too.
I love him.
So thank you again for coming and just saying yes to the interview, and coming into this safe space where there's no judgment. And thank you for coming and telling your story so other families can be helped when it comes to that.
There's hope, guys.
Yes, it's definitely hope. I love you so much.
I love you so much.
And thank you again for coming. All right, we're good to go.
That was good.
How many minutes we did? I probably